Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity.
And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise. Good morning, friends, and welcome to Kindness Rising. We are live on a Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this week we're diving into one of the most personal, powerful topics yet, midlife change. Not as a crisis, but as a remake. If you've ever caught yourself wondering what's next or felt that quiet pull towards something new, this week is for you. All week long, we're exploring what it means to rewrite our stories, refocus our energies, and rebuild our lives around what actually matters to us, not just what's expected of us. And later in today's show, I'll share a bit of my own story, how a career pivot has led me right here to this work, this show, and this mission to multiply kindness and unlock growth. So grab your coffee, drop a comment, and settle in, because the road ahead isn't about starting over. It's about starting true. Welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. Holroyd, I see you there. Appreciate that you are out there in the comments. Who else do we have here? Mike Sullivan, good morning. What a great topic. Yeah, it's a big one for me right now. Got some big changes coming right now in my life, and I look forward to telling you about some of those. All right, get involved in the comments. But first, let's talk about midlife career change in general, the new normal, and why it's good news. If you're wondering whether changing careers in midlife is odd, risky, or a sign that you've fallen off track, here's an encouraging reality. It's far more normal than many of us think, and increasingly necessary in today's economy. Here's a little context. Career pivots aren't unusual, even later in life. Data shows many people don't stay in one role or even one field for decades anymore. For example, it's estimated that most people will have around 12 job changes in their lifetime. Research also finds that when people over 40 embark on a career change, many report feeling happier, less stress, and more fulfilled. And according to the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, workers who change jobs in mid-career are more likely to still be employed at age 60 than those who didn't make the change. In short, your timeline is your own. You're not behind. You are evolving.
How did your interview go?
They asked if I had transferable skills.
Oh boy, how did you handle that?
I said, sure, sarcasm, caffeine tolerance, and existential dread.
And are going through their own changes too, and we will be following them along today here on Kindness Rising. Here's another little bit. Everyone develops on their own timetable. I've already said it, I'm saying it again. We often hold an internal script, like by X age, I should be settled, comfortable, or on a plateau. But the data pushes back against that. Many people rethink and reshape their work even when they appear established. For example, one study found that among 45 to 54-year-olds, roughly 1/3 expect to change careers before retirement, but less than half have taken action in recent months. What this tells us is recognizing the need for change is common, and now is as good a time as any to act. Your patterns matter more than your checklist of should haves.
Remember when our job titles used to sound impressive?
Yeah. Now mine's guy who knows a little about everything.
Well, that's basically upper management of life.
That's it. Upper management of life is knowing a lot about knowing a little about a lot, right? We're all kind of in that jack of all trades mode. I love that I'm able to draw on my experiences and make connections in life. That's the advantage of having aged and learned a few things now in our lives. Roseanne Rouff, good morning. Good morning, Mom. Welcome in. Happy Monday to you. And George Rouff. Yeah, that's some serious Latin you got going on there, and I can't translate it. Help me, George. Help me. Tell me what you're saying, buddy. I'm trying to decipher it. Anybody out there in the vertical know Latin and want to read George's message for us? So glad you've chosen to join us, George Rouff. Welcome to Kindness Rising. This is your morning dose of hope, humanity, and in heart. And we're glad you're here. Thanks for getting involved in the comments, no matter what language you choose to use. Here's a little another context for you. The job market itself is moving. We're in a new world, man. New world versus what we used to be. There is much more flexibility, freelancing, and broader definitions of what a career is. In the US, about 76 million freelancers were working in 2024. That's over 36% of the workforce. By 2027, it's projected that freelancers may make up more than half of the US workforce. Global freelance platform market size is accelerating. The platform market was valued at about $5.6 billion in 2024 and projected to reach $14.4 billion by 2030. What does all that mean? It means staying put in one full-time traditional job for decades is no longer the only path. The way work is organized and how value is created is evolving, and you can align with that.
I told my boss I'm looking for the meaning of work.
What did he say?
Try dictionary.com.
Oh boy. I don't think that boss understood what they were getting, what he was saying, right? The meaning of work. That's so silly. Okay. Welcome into Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. to help you get up with hope, humanity, heart, maybe a little bit of connection for those of us who are of a certain age, they say. I'm 53 and I am going through some of my own changes that I'm going to talk about in just a little bit. But first, before we do that, as we always do here on Kindness Rising, we want to highlight good people doing good work because that's our mission, to unlock growth and to multiply kindness for good people who are doing good work. And today's Kindness Spotlight shines on Encore.org, a remarkable organization that's helping people over 40 turn experience into impact. They call it Second Act Careers with Purpose, but what they're really doing is redefining retirement, not as an exit, but as an evolution. Encore connects people who've spent decades in business, healthcare, teaching, or the trades with community organizations that need their wisdom and leadership. They have programs like Gen to Gen, matching older mentors with younger change makers, building bridges between generations instead of barriers. It's a beautiful reminder that growth doesn't stop when your title changes. Your purpose doesn't retire, it simply recalculates. And I love what Encore founder Mark Friedman says: the biggest untapped resource in our society isn't oil, it isn't technology, it's people in midlife who still have so much to give. That's what Kindness Rising is all about, using what we've learned to lift someone else's journey, because sometimes your next chapter isn't about getting ahead, it's about giving back. And if you want inspiration or ideas for your own next step, check them out. Encore.org. They're proof that your experience can still change the world.
Welcome to Pivot Like a Pro.
Step 1.
Find your purpose.
I know mine. Snacks and naps.
Beautiful. Step 2, monetize it.
Charge people to watch me nap?
Exactly. Passive income, baby.
That's not passive. That's comatose.
What's step 3?
Buy my course on finding the fourth step.
So the real pivot is toward your checkout page.
You're learning already.
Oh boy, Reggie is out there leading Cal and Stan along their way on their journey as their pivot coach. There are lots of people out there who are willing to help you too, but it starts with you. It starts with taking the action. It starts with being self-aware. Are you really happy where you're at? Are you taking the safe route, or are you living with your purpose? That's the question, the big question. And it's been a big question for me. And as promised, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story and what I have in store for me in the coming weeks, I guess, and coming months, and whatever the future may bring. I've told a little bit of my story to you all before, and the fact that I spent 25 years in primarily the healthcare, hospitals, and health systems space. And I got into that as I was thinking about it. One of the reasons I got into that, I'll never forget the conversation I had with my father when he said, "Hey, people are always going to be sick. Healthcare is a pretty safe bet." At the time, that made perfect sense. It was stable. It was respectable. It felt noble, like a calling. I wanted to help people, to make a difference, to give back. And I did. I did it for 25 years. I held titles like Director of Special Projects, Executive Director, and Vice President of Programs. I climbed the corporate ladder. I learned a lot. I made an impact. But here's the truth that took me this long to see. While I was climbing that ladder, I was actually walking in circles. Every few years, like clockwork, I'd hit the same wall. A job would end. Sometimes I'd quit. I've been fired. Sometimes it was just time. And each time it happened, it hurt. It hurt me personally. It hurt me and my family financially. It hurt emotionally. And what happens is sometimes you start to question yourself. Am I broken? Why can't I just stay somewhere and be content like everyone else? But now, after all those turns, I've learned something. I wasn't falling down. I was walking a spiral staircase. From the inside, when you're living it, it feels like you're going in circles. You keep facing familiar walls of fear and self-doubt and guilt and disappointment. But if you zoom out a little bit, you realize you're not going around. You're actually going up. Each turn brings a new perspective. You see that the same doors that you once labeled as fear or anxiety are really just the doorways to courage, to curiosity, and to growth. I used to think that being a great man meant being respected, being important, serving others in a visible way. But greatness isn't about the title on your business card. It's about how you show up in your work, in your relationships, in your community. It's about what you do with your time and the intention behind it. For years, I believed my worth was tied to the industry I worked in, that healthcare was my purpose because it served people. But purpose isn't a place. It's not where you go. You don't go somewhere for purpose. It's actually your posture. And what I know is that kindness can live anywhere. Anywhere you choose to plant it, anywhere I choose to plant it, it can live. So my next turn on the spiral staircase, that is taking me somewhere new, completely new, but something that I've always been interested in. I've told my story before about finding that little cassette tape that had my voice on it, and how I remember really just loving advertising, marketing, and words. And so now I am headed in a new direction. I've accepted a position where I'm going to be helping to grow a media and digital marketing company, an agency, a strategic account manager role for actually they are a broadcast and digital media network. But this is not a pivot away from my purpose. It's actually a continuation of it, because now I get to use everything I've learned, the strategy, the storytelling, the empathy, to multiply kindness and unlock growth for good people doing good work. That's the mission of Uncommon Kindness, and it's the heart of Kindness Rising. Excuse me. It's why I'm here, and I can do it whether I go to a hospital or a health system, or I go to a digital marketing agency, or I go anywhere else. And the reason I'm able to do that, one of the reasons I'm able to do that, is the work that I've been doing over the past 6 months with the Mornings in the Lab Network, with Keith Bilous, with my therapist, with my family, with everybody, to help me make this turnaround. But that what's really made a difference for me is showing up here every day. 7:30 a.m. I come to Kindness Rising and I talk to you. I build my community. I want you to get more involved out there in the community, and that is helping me to live my purpose, really, not just because I have the title, not just because I'm working for an organization whose mission is associated with serving others, but because I am giving of myself through this show, through Mornings in the Lab Network, through my partnership with guys like Keith Bilous and John Anderson that are out there. I'm continuing to grow. I'm learning, I'm experimenting, I'm building, and this isn't just a side project. It's part of who I am, and it's one more turn on my staircase. So here's my message to you, especially if you're in one of those seasons where it feels like you've lost your footing. Pay attention to yourself. Ask the hard questions, and don't mistake movement for meaning. Not every ladder leads up. Take the next step that aligns with your true purpose, not what other people say is good for you, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it looks and feels like starting over, because sometimes the best way forward is just one more turn up that spiral staircase. And when you look back, you'll see every stumble, every restart, and every ending was actually just leading you higher. Stay uncommon and stay kind. That's my story of my current movement. I've been using the word pivot. I'm starting to hate that word. It's not a pivot. You're not going to pivot. It implies back, forth. It's a smooth spiral going up and up and up. And if you remember that, you can get through some really more difficult things associated with that. It's the long game. All right.
Sensei, how do you know it's time to change direction?
When the compass inside you points to another path.
So the detour is actually the destination?
Only if you keep walking kindly.
Now that's my kind of GPS.
Recalculating with compassion.
Taking my sip of coffee. Oh, geez. Taking my sip of coffee a little late today. Usually I do it in about 15 minutes. Good morning. Happy Monday. Let's get up and get going. Have your coffee. Absolutely. Mom, I appreciate you. God writes straight with crooked lines. Example of his providence. Thank you. We are so proud of your life and sharing. And Reggie, of course. Thanks, Mom. I am. I'm proud of what I'm doing here too. And I'm glad that you're along with me on my journey. And so same with Adam Holroyd and same with Mike Sullivan and Corey Castillo. Welcome to Kindness Rising. I hope you're still hanging out with us. George, you haven't given me, you may not even be here anymore, but I'm asking you a question. What the heck did you say, dude? I'm curious. Anybody out there know Latin and want to translate George's comment for me? I'm a little scared, honestly. I don't know. It says something about intelligimus. Maybe he's calling me stupid. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Mom, you took Latin, right? I'm going to show his comment. I don't know if anybody can see that. There it is. So curious. I'm going to have to plug that one into Google Translate or something, right? Holroyd, you got to get coffee, dude. Get some coffee. Get it going. It's part of life. Welcome to Kindness Rising, everyone out there. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I come here every day, every weekday, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. And I am here to help you with a little hope, humanity, and heart every day. I appreciate it. Mike Sullivan wouldn't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm just curious. I love learning new things, and maybe there's some insight or wisdom there. So, as we always do here on Kindness Rising, we're going to talk just briefly a little bit about branding because it's what I do. It's what I love to do, marketing, digital marketing, branding. And we just heard Sensei talk about pivoting. It isn't about changing careers. It's about changing how you see your own story. And that's where EAT comes in. Remember, EAT is experience, expertise, authenticity, trust, and entertainment. The 5-ingredient recipe for your personal brand experience. Every twist has taught me. I'm going to talk a little bit about my personal brand, I guess, and how it relates to EAT in our conversation. Jeez. I got to figure this out. This is like 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row now where I keep kicking that thing. Maybe I'm a little fidgety. EAT. Experience, expertise, authenticity, trust, entertainment. Can everybody rattle it off by now? This is mine as it relates to my story. Experience, every twist, every change that came in my life that has taught me something. I take something with me from every job I have had, every job I have left, every person I have met along the way. Expertise. I'm showing my expertise by sharing the wisdom that I've learned and earned along the way. Authenticity. I'm talking about who I am now, telling you my truth as it exists. And I know it's going to keep changing, keep evolving, because that's what we do. Trust. I admit when I am still learning. I have led right off from day one on this little Kindness Rising venture saying progress over perfection. And every day I show up and I do that. And it's pretty cool if you ever have a chance to take a look, which I hope you'll do. Subscribe and take a look at some of the old episodes on the live, in the live section of my YouTube page. We're evolving for sure. And last is entertainment. I hope it's a little entertaining. I hope Cal and Stan bring you a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of joy, maybe, and that maybe you can be motivated by it or interested in it. It's obviously here. Mom, don't worry about it. I tried to get it over to you. I'll send it to you in a text and you can translate it for me. Or we can use Google Translate. Ask Sensei, right? Sensei probably speaks Latin. He does everything else. All right. So that's our branding spotlight, or not our branding spotlight, our little branding overview, rebranding without losing yourself. and we're getting a little loosey-goosey here as the show goes on. That's okay. It's fun. It's fun. And I'm going to skip that piece right there. I had something. Doesn't matter. We'll maybe do it again. It was the branding spotlight. I was going to talk about a brand and how they fit to eat, but we're running out of time here. I would rather talk to people like Global, where we have two lives. The second begins when we realize we only have one. We have two lives. The second begins when we realize, oh, that's the translation. Global, you're the man, dude. You always pop in. All right. So this is what George Rouff said, and it absolutely is a really cool thing about that's connected to the subject. I'm so glad to hear that. We have two lives. The second begins when we realize we only have one. That's the awakening that we have as we grow up and age. I'll use the word. I know, Mom, it's a swear word, but no. Yes, it's true. We realize that we have a second life, a different person when we wake up to that. Thank you so much, Global, and George Rouff, if you're still out there. Appreciate you. All right, one last check-in here before we wind down. Let's find out how Reggie is doing with helping the guy.
Reggie, does my headline "Open to Naps and New Opportunities" sound professional?
Perfect. Add strategic.
Mine says former everything, current hot mess.
Authentic. That's trending right now.
Great, we'll go viral for unemployment.
Gentlemen, now that's relatable content.
Oh, Reggie's got it all together. Reggie / Sensei. He's a guru. He's a social media consultant. He's a pivot coach. He's got it all together. He's helping those guys figure out their lives as they pivot and change too. And before we wrap, I want to make that bridge, cross the bridge over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, who I promise you at 8 o'clock will be there for you to not hit the snooze button, to get up and get after it. And the topic they're talking about over there is why men over 35 lose muscle faster and 5 moves to reverse it. Making the connection to our show, it's a follow-up on today's conversation about rerouting your career and reclaiming your energy, because pivoting isn't just mental, it's physical, emotional, and spiritual. So stick around, grab a refill of your coffee, and get ready to strengthen from the inside out. 2 shows, 1 network, Mornings in the Lab Network, Kindness and Growth, back to back. Welcome to the Mornings in the Lab Network and to Kindness Rising. Get on over to see Keith, John, and friends on the Mornings in the Lab. Here's the thread that's going to tie it all together. The midlife pivot isn't a crisis. It's actually a concert. The melody changes, but your rhythm stays true. Take inventory. Don't panic. Change your map, not your mission. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. And as we always say here on Kindness Rising, stay uncommon, stay kind. See you tomorrow. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.